Part 3. Okay, man, it's really difficult talking for a long period of time. I don't know if you guys ever do this, but yeah. So I went up to the protests up London and outside St. Paul's Cathedral, and firstly, that place is beautiful. Like, if you're going to hold a protest, damn, that is the place to do it. Like, it just looks great from every angle. So there was a lot of people camped up, and I was speaking to a lot of people, and like it was just like it was so weird to like. Sorry, I'm not making any sense at the minute. But when I went there, they were discussing a document. I'm not going to say what document because that is sort of in breach of what they're aiming towards, and sort of. Well, to be honest, if it's a democracy, it's open for everyone to know. But I don't want to make enemies up in base camp there, because I've gotten a lot with some of the guys there, and I'm really supportive of what they're doing. So, through safety reasons, I'm not going to divulge what the document was about. And I know that is really tedious of me, and I'm really sorry for doing that. But, forgive me? So yeah, there was a lot of sort of internal power struggle is what I saw there, and it was sort of the real nature of democracy. Like, everyone was getting their opinion heard. There was a microphone set up where anyone could go up to it and sort of stress their opinion, sort of throw their 2 cents into the argument of, like, you know, the capitalism sort of versus the democracy sort of debate going on, and what their ideas were of how things should be solved. And it was really sort of, it was almost to a point where I was starting to disagree with the lengths of democracy that were being involved, because it was just like, they reached this point where they were making plans to make plans to make plans. And it was just like it's all well and true in a small group like that, but you magnify that across the population of the country, you won't get anything done. Like, it's all well and good saying it, and I really do believe like there is steps in that nature that need to be taken place. But it's like, how far do you go before you're just destroying it with the progression of the country? Like, do you know what I mean? It's an interesting thought, because I know that things like the capitalism side needs to go. Like, that definitely needs to go. Like, you can't have big corporates putting their agenda onto a country. Like, that is not right. We're not the United States of Tesco's or anything else. We need to get the power back to the people. But the length in which the people should have a right on, you know, you're never going to get everyone to agree on anything. And that was the main problem that we were seeing. Everyone was trying to get their opinion heard and accounted for, but people wouldn't accept the notion that even though they've had their opinions said, they still might be in the minority and people go with a different thing. I mean, I think what I'm trying to say was there was a lack of compromise. Everyone thought that their opinion was right, and if it wasn't being adhered to, then it was nonsensical. Like, they didn't want to have anything to do with it, and it was just so interesting. Like, it was like, I thought that I was like quite smart on the matter and things like that. Like, I thought that I was quite knowledgeable, I should say. But it's like, when you talk to people who are literally living it, I swear, like, in their tents there, food, everything, just living that environment. It was like, it's really weird. Like, it's like, it just put me in my place, definitely. But yeah, like, I was definitely there to sort of throw my 2 cents in to begin with. That's what I was going to be there. I was like, yes, I want to lend my support and all that. But I just ended up listening more than I did sort of participating. And I don't know, it got me questioning quite a lot of what I believe in, I guess. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think anything that strengthens your own mind on something is a really good thing. So I'm glad I went, and anyone who's interested in sort of politics that are going on at the moment, get to ground zero. Like, get there and just, or something local like that, and just bash it out with people who are interested in the same thing, because it's different, like talking about it with one or two people who sort of know what you're talking about, to people who genuinely believe it. And I'm talking these people, like, they were getting seethingly mad over it, like just animatedly angry in conversation, just talking about the way that the country was run and stuff. And it was just great. Like, it was just really great. And it's great to see that people sort of had their passions in the right place and that. As to my involvement with it, I think I've just got to leave it to them now. Like, I lent my support there, and I might go back later in the year just to sort of, I don't know what. I don't know. I can't. I was saying it like I'd boost their morale or something, or go and lend like a fresh ear or something, but man, they don't need it. Like, they are so focused in what they believe in, that I didn't need it at all. One of the other things I did see, and I'm not sure whether I should say this in video format because I don't want to offend anyone. That is like the most thing I don't want to do. But there was a lot of sort of religion thrown into the mix, and I'm treading lightly here, treading very lightly, because, like I say, I do not want to offend anyone. But it's like, I almost feel like in that sort of protest environment, that religion didn't really have a place in it. Like, I don't mean that in a bad sense. It's like, if you're talking about sort of the running of the country and sort of the logical means to run a country, like, religion shouldn't come into it, especially as we are in sort of a multicultural society and that. Like, there's a lot of signs like, what would Jesus do and that, and maybe like it was influenced by the fact they were outside a cathedral. Maybe that was just sort of their inspiring, or maybe they were trying to get the sort of the demographic of people who would be around that area. But it drew me out of it a little bit, because I wanted to think that these people were in a logical mindset where they were like gonna, I shouldn't be saying this at all, so I didn't mean that detrimentally at all, but I'm gonna cut my thought right there. Yeah, the protests were really interesting, so if you're into that sort of thing, I'd definitely go up there and give it some attention. Yeah, all the best, and I'll speak to you soon.